a multi-site content management systems are helping CMOs and digital heads into managing their brand experience and ensuring their customers are getting the right engagement for their products and their services, or widely speaking, their offerings. Just to give you a little bit of a rundown on today's agenda, we will be starting by the presentation, and we will be walking you through about 25 to 30 minutes of our webinar presentation, followed it up by the last 5 to 10 minutes spent on answering any of your questions or making sure that if you have any doubts or anything pertaining to our webinar, to go ahead and raise those questions, and then have me or someone from my team answer them. This is a one-way webinar, so you won't be able to raise your questions on the audio, just for a better management of all the attendees, but you will definitely be able to raise your questions and then raise your hand or type in your questions at the end of the session. I think that we have a good audience today, and this should be good for us to get started. So I would start by what kind of day-to-day objectives does a marketing team or a digital marketing team face in an enterprise situation where they have multiple products, that they have a need to make sure that they drive their customers and get the results. So I'll talk about some of the objectives. The top of them is usually to make sure that to outreach the customers across different targeted markets. Now these can be countries, geographies, etc. But the main objective is to make sure that you can go out and reach to your audience. Moreover, increasing the engagement from the visits and making sure that you have a presence across all the online channels to help you in building a good brand, making sure you create a good user awareness across all the markets and regions that you intend to go to, or basically back up your entire marketing channel. A lot of times we get asked that, what is the intent of having a website or a digital channel? Is to make sure that you can get some revenue out of it. So we also understand that CMOs and head of the digital channels are mostly tied with a tight string to make sure that they increase the conversion and make sure they can get good customers, good users to come back and engage more with the channel. Also making sure that you deliver the right content to the right person, and make sure you deliver the right customer experience. So someone coming to your website for some information, making sure if you can reduce their time to search for that information, or provide them something which is specific and tailored for them. We also see that retaining all customers or retaining old customers, make sure that they come back and engage a bit further, is also one of the objectives. And like I said, the quality of leads that you can pass on to your teams, it can be a sales team, it can be a customer success team, to make sure they can take them and convert it into a revenue. And also go beyond your own digital channel and use some of the best social media channels, as well as blogs and content and everything, to make it a nice mix of things that you can serve to your audience and create a great engagement channel. Oftentimes, these objectives get across into a lot of challenges. So we see that, the biggest or one of the top challenges is to have multiple websites. It's for different regions, different languages. So for someone like us at Signet, we have to manage users from at least 3 to 4 countries coming in on our website and making sure that when they access something, either we serve the content in their language, or if we have a region-specific website, go for that. Also, content personalization. Someone coming on our website and searching for enterprise content management or web content management should be able to find all the relevant information around that, where in comparison to someone coming to looking for a testing piece or someone coming to look for some mobile application development, vice versa. Moreover, managing this whole gamut of information becomes a big challenge. You have different silos, you have different CMS, or maybe a different website driven by a different backend system that is targeting onto a different country, and you have another one which is for another region, which has another content piece, which has another URL, and managing all this into making sure everything is updated at the right time, and it's tested in the right time, and it's ready to go to market at the right time becomes a big challenge. Also, branding. I mean, I've talked about different industries, and I think a lot of these industries often come to us and they ask about how do we make sure that our brand has the same resonance across different websites and different channels. Now, you understand that sometimes the products do change, but someone coming from a retail might have a common theme that they would want to carry across their websites, regardless of what products they sell. Or someone who might need same brand recognition who is into fashion, but they want to make sure that their different user base, male versus female, get the same kind of feel, experience on their portals and their channels, etc. Also, the users are coming. I mean, I was just speaking to someone. They mentioned that 50% of our users are right now coming from mobile, and we see that channel is going to increase every day. This is a big challenge. We realize that not just mobile, these alternative channels. You have televisions now, which are smart TVs, which can allow you to browse web. At airports, you see a lot of kiosks, which allow you to go in and search for information. Even your computer screens these days, they come from different sizes, and there is no standard. So having a portal or a digital asset or a channel which allows to scale up or scale down depending upon where your users are coming from. And when you have that, you also need to spend time into making sure that you have field tested it, done some activities to run it through all different types of combinations that you can, and then have it managed through one central piece. Also, reducing the time that your customers spend to get converted. This is a big challenge, and the less time the customers spend, the better they get converted, the more dollars they bring in for you, and the better ROI you get out of your marketing spends. Also, we do know that running different products, and there's not just everything that you can do from your website. So you might be building peripheral ecosystems where you have an advertisement running, there's a landing page, your customer comes to that landing page. You want to manage that landing page as well as manage your website. You have to make sure that both of them are updated at the same time. There's not a different price on the landing page, there's not a different price on your website, or the product branding from last month is the same, or from previous month to this month, you want to make sure that all the ecosystems are up to date. And managing integrations. I mean, if someone fills up an inquiry form, you want their information on your marketing system. There are multiple tools available in the market today that focus on marketing automation. I'm talking about tools like HubSpot, etc., which allow you to create your own inbound marketing channels, which integrates with your portal or your digital channel, and then allows you to drive it through. As well as having your payment systems, your CRM tools, etc., running real time. Even your email marketing systems, everything running. It does get quite exhaustive to make sure that all these systems are working, and then tracking the performance and analytics across different channels. Now, I've created a small idea of how an ecosystem would look if someone is running, different websites for different countries and different pieces altogether. And this is something that was there even for our own business case, where we were running multiple systems. So I'll talk about the top piece, which was having a different site for US, having a different site for the European markets, and having a different site for the Asian Pacific market. Now, essentially, you can have multiple products: product A, product B, product C. Product A might be available in certain markets and not be available at all in the other ones, compared to B and C being available in all across the globe. Now, you have one website which you need to manage, which takes up around 80% to 70% to 80% of your time. Then you have your blogs. Now, most of the times these blogs are integrated, but in an event when they are not integrated, you have to also have resources spent behind maintaining your blogs. Landing pages. Nobody can deny that PPC is something that we use every day. Almost 60 to 70% of our customers do use PPC, and they create different landing pages. So they have another asset that they would need to manage besides their websites. Blog is something like landing page. Social media. So what do you push out? How do you push out? How that content is shared across different social media channels? How do you create an engagement strategy is also something that you need. Microsites. This is a popular, I would say this is not popular across all of our customers, but we do know that a lot of times you might need a specific microsite for a product, especially in the cases of banking or automotive companies. They have a specific microsite which is dedicated to a product which has its own experience. So for an example, I'll pick an automotive use case where a customer that we work with had a specific microsite for their SUV or sports utility vehicles. Now, they had warm colors, different colors from what they would have on their main website, on the main corporate website, and they had a different product-specific website against for a SUV versus a hatchback or a commercial vehicle. Managing and sending out newsletters, most of the times customers have bought a system that does the purpose. There are many great systems available in the market, and most of them do offer integrations, but they are still outside of your core backend or core content management system. So it does eat up a lot of your time. Now, you might be publishing some magazines or something which you would also want to cater to, and then all these silos of information, say your website, blog, landing pages, social media, microsites, etc., would be accessed from different platforms. So you have a web user who comes from a desktop or a laptop. You have another user that comes through a mobile phone, or someone that comes from a tablet. And then third-party integration. So making sure that your CRM system can also capture the leads that come through your landing pages and your website and your microsite. And someone then, when they click on your newsletter, you want to have that system talk to your marketing automation system to track how many times they've logged it. Similarly, email system, your payment systems, how many times someone is purchasing something. And to run this all, on the far end, you would need a solid analytical engine. It can be Google Analytics, it can be any of the other third-party available solutions in the market, but that solid analytics is also something together. Now, imagine having to manage multiple horizontals and multiple vertical silos of information and to make sure that all your content can go through all these different pieces and make sure they get updated is definitely challenging, as well as it's hard for a CMO to make sure that what is going where and how to track everything into one piece. So what we're going to talk about is multi-site management. But before we do that, I've just created a small scenario of how would a use case for someone different would look like. So someone coming from retail would need personalized content. I mean, if I go to Amazon.com and I search for T-shirts, I would want to come back, and when I come back to Amazon.com, I want to see the T-shirts first. This is something that I searched for the last time. Similarly, someone coming from banking would want to see their personal banking information, or someone who is a corporate banking customer would want to go in. So these industries have a wide variety of challenges, but all of these challenges are more or less similar in their nature. Even automobiles, I mean, they need integrations with different tools. They also have multilingual websites, some products which are available with different names in different markets. All this becomes highly confusing for most of these industries. I've just taken these three examples, something that we could find from our recent research, but there's definitely more to this, and the challenges are not limited to just these industries, but a lot many. So we're going to talk about how a multi-site management system or a holy grail of your content management piece would help you out. So I will start by what is some of the big advantages of having a multi-site management system, where you can have all your country-specific websites, all your product-specific websites, your different marketing silos, your integrations, your channels, etc., being managed from one system. Wouldn't this allow you to make sure that you track your spending better, you run your marketing operations in a much smoother way, and at the same time, save some money? So I'll talk about some of the advantages. The top is security. We see that when you have multiple users coming in and managing your website, you have multiple usernames and passwords for managing different pieces, a different password for your email management system, your marketing automation versus your blog, etc. Centralizing this actually helps you in cutting down the security risks involved to having multiple people getting access into your digital asset. The other one is being able to manage your branding in a much better way. It looks really nice when something has the same theme and same links for you to add for your users and your audience to go in and access and to come back. Especially in retail and in banking, this is a big challenge that they face. Having personalized and reusable content. I already spoke to you about this. Another industry where we see personalization becoming a big advantage is travel industry, where when you search for something, your favorite holiday destination, say Hawaii, when you come back to the website, they will start to show you deals for Hawaii. And as soon as you click on that deal, you make sure that your user gets converted, and you reduce the time your user spends on searching for different things. Now, having the advantage to be able to offer that kind of personalization and content reusability, and getting that content to the user rather than getting the user to the content, has a big advantage. We see that a lot of new multi-site management systems that I will talk about in the next slide do offer this advantage, and these features help our customers to sometimes boost up their conversions from existing to up to 30% or 40%, more than what they are doing now. Maximizing your outreach is also something that a multi-site management would help you out. I already talked about the security, but the centralized management also goes beyond security, and having one single sign-on to all your systems actually makes it a much easier flow for your teams, the marketing operations to run and manage content. A lot of these systems today come with an integrated marketing suite. Like I'll talk about Sitefinity, one of our we are partners to Sitefinity, so I have a little bit more information about the ecosystem. They offer what we call as a marketing cloud, where they can integrate with different marketing automation tools that they are available within Sitefinity. Similarly, we also see a lot of other systems now offering it. Even open source systems are trying to add more and more features for this, where they can increase the marketing automation within the content management. So content management is actually maturing and graduating to something becoming an integrated marketing platform. Community, creating and managing a community is also a lot easier with this. You can also set role-based access for your own users. So when I say permissions and security aspects, you can set up permissions for someone to only edit the content, or someone to only view the content, but not be able to delete the page or delete the information. A lot of new tools, a lot of new platforms these days offer this, and they have tied this all together into one centralized piece, which makes it easy for them to manage. At the same time, having to host different websites, buy storage on different hosting servers also comes down as soon as you implement or start to implement what we call a multi-tenant, multi-site management system, as well as reduce duplicacy by clone and modified time. So someone spending time, one person managing the website, one person managing the blog. If you can have an integrated suite, you might just need one person to manage both the things at the same time. I'll talk about some of the case studies that we have done. One of them was for an online product company that would sell the toll-free numbers. We have implemented Sitefinity as a multi-site solution. They had their portals on Australia as well as New Zealand. They especially used to sell telecom solutions. The biggest challenge we faced were, they were having performance issues on different pages, different websites. Someone would land on a broken page and want to come back. Having implemented something as a centralized asset would allow them to track these broken links better. Also, a consistent web UI and UX, which was not optimized for sales and conversions. It was more, done in bits and pieces when they started putting together the website. So if they had 500 pages, some 30 of them would look odd out of the other remaining pages. And also, the content marketing team was not able to push out content on time, reducing the ability to engage their users better. So what we created was, using the existing Sitefinity features, a smart solution that would allow them to create flexible content and push this out onto their portals. At the same time, simplifying the content management across their website and improving consistent UI and UX with the common design language across their portals using the centralized management system. Also, optimizing the search engine and user friendliness, as well as better analytics. Sitefinity has a lot of features that allow you to track this, and as a part of the implementation, our goal was to make sure that everything that they do has audit trails and are able to track it back into their system. These multi-site management systems also go beyond proprietary tools like Sitefinity. So I'll talk about another case study where we have our customers from the entertainment business using WordPress. So they had a hard time in managing and maintaining large quantity of content. Their business was to offer fresh content to their users and then engage them back into other advertisements and products that they host on behalf of their sponsors. They didn't have support for smartphones and tablets, so making sure there's a central framework or a central responsive design which is implemented across their pages, making sure everything is accessible for everyone from different systems. Simplifying the existing navigation. So they already had a big challenge with complex navigational structures, which would take a user from one page, but then go to that post and would not be able to come back. So we implementing something which would allow them to have a common navigational flow was also something that was rolled out. Load times. We see a lot of customers, a lot of time have issues. Certain pages always take more time. Having a centralized management system would allow a user to host it and make sure that being able to track down what pages are taking time and then going up and making sure that you can focus on those pages and improve their time or load time and their performance is a big advantage as well. Moreover, talking about some solutions such as speeding up the maintenance of the content from a central piece, expanding the visitor base by simplifying the design language, optimizing the performance on hosting the entire content cloud onto what we call as an Amazon Web Service Cloud architecture, and then simplifying the management by implementing a centralized database system to manage and track user-generated data. So how can we help is, I've talked about the challenges and the objectives and the multi-site management and I've built a good case around that. I'll talk about Signet specifically and would like to spend a few minutes talking about it. Is we help our users with our expertise into different web content management practices or different solutions available in the market to create a strategy and create an implementation plan for them customized to their needs with the right type of quality assurance, testing, and support to make their operations run all the time. We have experience in executing a large number of projects, most of them specifically around web content management using different tools, both proprietary as well as open source, and have delivered a wide variety of things such as marketing websites, traditional marketing websites, or booking engines, ticket, airline, travel, variety of different booking engines, e-commerce solutions and e-commerce portals, storefronts for retail, telecom products, etc., and publishing solutions for a variety of industries. We have a rich pool of certified web content management consultants who are experts in their own field, and we adhere to the best practices such as following the CMMI and Agile for developing and building your own web properties with the least amount of time. Just a little bit more, we are an IT company with content management solutions as a key focus area and product lifecycle management services with 250 plus happy clients and more than 2,000 plus projects executed. With this, I'm going to take a quick break to take up any questions that you might have. These are just some of our partnerships, some of the existing solutions that we leverage to build content management systems, right from a high performance enterprise scale implementation of Sitecore, Sitefinity, or SharePoint to open source based systems like Umbraco or Drupal, or even storefront solutions built around commerce. Our experience into these areas is unparalleled, and we can talk more about it. But I would like to stop here and take up any questions that you might have. Please feel free to type them. We're going to wait for a few minutes before we go in and start answering them. To ask your questions, you can either raise your hand or can use the chat box to type in. Okay, so we have a question from one of the attendees about how much time does it take to implement and roll out a multi-site management system. Specifically around the timeline, a simplified solution which, if you have a clear strategy, would take between a few months to a few weeks of time for you to start to decide and rolling out. Our focus at Signet is more or less around making sure that we focus on your strategy, we focus on your end results that you expect, and drive you to get the maximum return on your marketing investments into these channels. We also help, by the way, in maintaining them afterwards. So the timelines are more or less specific to the customers, but a lot of times they range from a few weeks to a few months. So we have another question. Someone has asked about what kind of CMS tools do we use to implement multi-site systems. I think widely we use, our focus has been to go for tools that our customers believe are the best. However, our expertise is more around our partner ecosystem. We sometimes do our work beyond that as well, but most of the times we have a strong focus on open source tools like WordPress, Drupal, and for store solutions built around Magento, as well as some of the .NET-based open source systems like Umbraco. On the enterprise side, we work widely with Sitefinity, which is a mid-market solution which a lot of our customers run. I think we have built around 40 websites just based on Sitefinity. And on a large-scale implementation, we have experience with Sitecore in the media industry as well as in the retail industry, where we've implemented Sitecore solution to help our end customers start to go. We also have experience, and recently in the last few, I think the last year, we are working with Kentico, which is coming up strongly, and a lot of customers are looking at implementing. We are also, you don't see it here, but we are also starting to build capacity around Adobe Experience Manager and Episerver. I did see someone wanting to come and join from Episerver team as well on today's webinar. So thanks again for asking that question. I hope I have answered that question. Okay, we are waiting for any other questions. Okay, there you go. So, okay, we have another question is asking about some comparative information on what kind of systems are, how do they compare. So, because we are not trying to be biased to any of these systems, I think your question is more towards how does Sitecore compare to Adobe Experience Manager. I think we both of these solutions run different types of focus areas. So while Sitecore is focused around certain parameters, their biggest strength is having content personalization and ability to have an integrated systems to manage your content. Experience Manager is very strong onto branding and with the design. With Adobe having its own design suite of products, it is much more dynamic when it works with that. Also find that something in Sitecore is better when you compare it. So something like analytics are also better with each of them, and security aspects are also something which are both with great with both of these platforms. And more than it also sometimes boils down to the pure question of how much they cost. They are come in a comparative, but depending upon where you are, where the customer is looking to buy the license and have it implemented, the costs may be cheaper from one to another. And also, which vendor is willing to go into the distance and offer you good discounts is also something which is useful. Okay, are we getting any more questions? Okay, I think we don't have any questions. If you do need to reach out to us, please feel free to email on info@Signet Infotech. We would be more than happy to help you out in your journey to find out the right solution. Once again, we normally go by offering what is putting our customers first and going by what would be the right solution for your needs, and invest into the right strategy to make sure that we get the best from your investments. Thanks again for joining today's webinar. This is Premil Dove signing off, and you have a great week ahead. Bye.